Today, I want to talk about Jimin expressing his true feelings lately and talking about his album. I want to get into possibly Jimin's reaction to his dancer posting shipping pictures and this rumor. I want to get into Bang PD talking about Suga and Jimin and their relationship. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, taste spilling mug merch, and let's go. We need to talk about Jimin's relationship with one of the chairmen of HYBE and what was being talked about today, and it's quite interesting. I think we all know how much work K-pop trainees put into their art and music. They go through years of training and they aren't even guaranteed to debut. And even if they do debut, that doesn't mean that they will be successful. Given the competitive nature of K-pop, it's no wonder that a lot of newer K-pop labels can find it hard to compete with the bigger, more established labels. After all, those labels will stop at no expense to make sure their idols are absolutely perfect and give those idols all of their resources. When HYBE started their company and it was called Big Hit, BTS was really the only act that they had, and there was a lot of pressure from the founder, Bang PD, to make sure that anytime the boys showed their face, their performance and art were absolutely perfect. During a recent YouTube show, Jimin and Suga joined, and there was a ton of great comedians that also joined too. They sat at a table to eat and talk about their life. I felt like Jimin and Suga switched roles, as Suga tends to be a lot more reserved and doesn't tend to talk much. However, Jimin was actually the shy one here and didn't talk much because he seemed nervous around new people. Now, Suga actually spilled some pretty crazy tea and I was excited to hear about it. Suga said that they actually regard Bang PD as a good guy. And this was funny because at what point was he considered a bad guy? Well, I am sure the BTS boys actually resented him a little bit in the beginning. So what happened? Well, for the reasons I mentioned earlier, Bang PD was obviously going to be super strict. Suga mentioned how after a performance, they would go literally frame by frame to make sure that the boys were perfect and lined up perfectly. The boys got so used to be able to press the space button so fast to be able to go frame by frame, and to this day the boys all line up so perfectly. I think since a lot of people know that their training was so crazy, people ask questions like what James Corden did during one of their interviews. What do the members do when they mess up a dance move? I think people assume that the members will freak out or be really sad, and while some of the members get like that, not all the members do. J-Hope simply doesn't care, and as a dancer you definitely understand that mistakes happen, and now we live in the modern BTS world where the boys naturally pick up dance very well so that the performances don't take too much rehearsal time, and so they don't mess up as much. It's very cute to see the former relationship between BTS and Bang PD. It seemed like Bang PD had a lot of influence into the early performances of BTS, and we definitely have him to thank when it comes to things like BTS being the perfect performers and how successful they have become. We tend to like them because they're so good at what they do, and that is a result of very strict training that they were put through. So be sure to appreciate Bang PD and BTS's relationship. But Jimin hadn't just appeared on this show, he also appeared on his own live stream, and this got people talking a lot. Jimin appeared on Weverse to break down his music video, and specifically Like Crazy. The song for Like Crazy is definitely a bit different. The song shows a romantic and raunchy side of him. The music video resembles something similar to the TV Euphoria, so it's definitely not necessarily something that would be on the Disney Channel. The hidden messages in the songs are insane, and of course some of those hidden messages are going to be a little not PG-13, let's say. There was a scene during the stream that people were talking about and upset about. Jimin was breaking down the specific scene of him in the bathroom. This scene was already a little controversial because people were saying that his pants had photos of a gay BDSM photographer. So this sparked the question of Jimin's orientation and just why was this the message he wanted to go for here. Jimin wanted to talk about the lyrics of that specific scene, and he wanted to go over how deep the lyrics meant, but realized that there were likely some not family-friendly lyrics there, and there were likely some underage people watching the stream. He said he wouldn't bother explaining the lyrics because of that. People got upset because they obviously want to hear him talk about those lyrics and give his full thoughts. Many people on Twitter started to say that Jimin should do another stream and just age restrict the stream so people who are not 18 would not be allowed and Jimin could just talk about any of those adult topics that he wanted to talk about. However, that's not really a solution. We all know some people within the fandom like to lie, so they will often lie about their age. They will just lie just to get into the stream and then possibly be traumatized by the adult themes that Jimin could be talking about. And who knows if there's any sexual references that he is referring to, or if the topic is more about mental health or drugs and that sort of stuff. The second reason why this idea wouldn't work is because the adult themes and topics would likely just get reposted on Twitter anyway with captions and all that. And that would defeat the point of having the initial stream age restricted. Now, aside from all that, I think it is very smart for Jimin to not tell the exact meaning of every single part of the song. Let people have their own meaning and connection to the song. This way they can relate to it better, it can mean something for them, and I've heard a lot of songs that I felt like were about something else and it made more sense to me, but when the artist explained the lyrics, I felt somewhat disconnected because I can't relate to what they say. And too many songs are about love, so having lyrics that are unrelated to that are actually more relatable to me. The song is very beautiful, and obviously this song has a lot of romantic references in there, which is very cool too. I really enjoy the song, and I have my first time reaction to the song and other BTS music videos over on Patreon. We have a great time just screaming and fangirling, so if you want to grab a snack and join us over there, we'd love to have you. We currently have a $1 tier with some limited spots left, so I hope to see you there. But the song has absolutely a vibe, and the vibe is further enhanced by the dancing. There's been a lot of dancers that have come together, and ARMYs have been super protective over which dancer comes in simply because the dancers have to actually touch Jimin. There's loads of touching when Jimin does that song, and there's a lot of Asian and white passing dancers that are in the performance. Recently, one specific dancer was actually getting a lot of heat for something she allegedly did. One of the dancers that was in the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show performance, her name is Julia, and she is a fantastic dancer and super pretty. The issue lies here. She gained attention because she was touching Jimin and she was traditionally pretty. If she was seen as unattractive, a lot of fans wouldn't feel threatened by her. And let's be honest, the people who would have a problem with a dancer touching Jimin is likely going to have a few screws loose and likely is very unattractive, both inside and out. After apparently Vogue released their video for A Day in the Life with BTS Jimin in New York City, which I just posted that reaction on Patreon as well, the dancer Julia posted an edit with her and Jimin. I'll be blurring out the username so no one can go and attack her. Julia has been a big BTS fan for a while and would post funny edits and things like that to her page, simply because she is a fan and loves Jimin. And just like any of us can literally do that and it seemingly is okay, she should be allowed to do that and post that. The edit was of her and Jimin eating a cake together. Now, there were some issues that made a bit more sense to me. Issues like the cake with the chopsticks is not a Korean cake and does not have any Korean words on there, so that could possibly seem disrespectful to a culture. But then the thing most people took to be upset about was that this was so allegedly creepy for someone to allegedly make an edit of them and another singer that they work closely with. However, Julia did end up deleting the post and taking it down. She also mentioned the edit was not made by her and simply sent to her, and she simply decided just to repost it because she thought it was funny. When I'm sent something, I may not look entirely at it, and I'm always flattered if anyone wants to include me in any edits or fanfics. So I don't always read it all, but I try to post it. Now, is that a good practice to have? Because nowadays when you repost something, you are co-signing off on it? No, you should definitely look into it and really look at it. However, most people wouldn't do all that. They would just think it's cute and repost. Others were upset that if Jimin saw the post, because obviously there's a possibility that the dancer's account would be seen by Jimin, and the fandom gets really upset over this idea that there's photos editing girls with Jimin. I don't know if they think this will give ideas to Jimin and he will finally realize that he has the ability to date, or if the issue is more so that they just think Jimin would be disgusted by the fandom if they saw this, and thus be disgusted by his dancer. I do want to say that the boys know that there's people who dedicate their life to BTS members in such a crazy way. We have the video where we see Jimin and Jimmy Fallon, and they did a skit together where Jimmy Fallon is a very intense fanboy with edits and everything on his computer. So the boys are aware that this exists, and I don't think they would react to this in a negative way. Also, please stop hurting everyone who is pretty and close to the boys. She can do whatever she wants. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.